Hello students, now today we are starting our next chapter, General Organic Chemistry. This chapter I will take in two parts, part 1 and part 2. In part 1 of chapter General Organic Chemistry, means when you take topic GOC, General Organic Chemistry, I will teach this in two parts, two sections. One part taken is, you can take part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we will cover some basic principles of organic chemistry, mainly dealing with here separation and purification. We study here purification of organic compounds, separation of organic compounds, purification and separation of organic compounds, their qualitative analysis of organic compounds, means detection of elements in the organic compound, qualitative analysis, and then we can take here quantitative estimation or analysis. So basically this part is given in your NCERT as well, in this heading purification and characterization of organic compounds. Small portion is there where we will discuss mainly purification and separation of organic compounds, and then in the organic compound we are having which all elements, their testing, chemical test, and then calculation of percentage composition of different elements in the organic compounds. This is all I will discuss in under heading topic General Organic Chemistry part 1. Part 2 we are dealing, this part 2 is long topic, it is small topic. This part 2 is long topic in which we are going to discuss all kind of effects. Here we study here all effects. Effects means you can take here electron shifting like inductive effect, resonance, hyperconjugation, electromeric effect, then different kind of intermediates, carbocations, carbanions, free radicals. So effects, when you take intermediates and their applications. Effect will deal mainly four effects here: inductive, resonance, hyperconjugation and electromeric effect. Then we also introduce electrophiles, nucleophiles, and then we will study about intermediates like carbocations, carbanions, carbenes, nitrines, free radicals, areninium ions, aromatic, non-aromatic, anti-aromatic ions or molecules, their classification and distinction, identification. That all we discuss in topic General Organic Chemistry part 2. This part 2 is very important, especially because in part 2 we will discuss the effects which are required to us in the entire organic chemistry. And if this general organic chemistry is not clear to you, then in organic chemistry you will have always difficulty. So be attentive for each and every concept, each and every point that is discussed here, especially here. This chapter is not much linked with the topic we are going to discuss further, but one question normally directly given almost every year, all kind of examinations, all entrance, maybe your NEET, AIMS, JEE Main, JEE Advanced. One question come from this chapter almost every year, especially detection of elements or percentage composition of elements using Dumas method, Geldahl method, Carius method. They are very common question given, and almost one question is fixed, especially this last part taken quantitative estimation or analysis of the organic compounds. So GOC part 2 I will discuss in detail कि कैसे सारा टॉपिक्स इसके अंदर आएंगे. राइट नाउ वी विल फोकस ऑन पार्ट 1. पार्ट 1 आई एम राइटिंग दिस जनरल ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री 1. In this case we will discuss only this purification and characterization of organic compounds only. Part 2 we will discuss all effects, their applications, conditions, their suitability of effects as per the requirement of the different applications that we'll discuss in the given topic. Acid strength, basic strength, all we'll discuss in this topic. In this chapter at least we can get two questions almost every year, directly, indirectly, in your organic based questions. So anyway, let us start first topic here, purification and characterization. Now this topic taken also make your chapter name, we are sometimes writing as practical organic chemistry. Practical organic chemistry, because the one part we are using here right now will be a directly part बट सेकेंड पार्ट टेकन टेस्ट ऑफ फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स, वो आप पढ़ेंगे धीरे धीरे, आगे आपके चैप्टर होते रहेंगे, आपके आते रहेंगे। तो इसमें क्या होता है, हम क्या पढ़ेंगे, सपोज ए कंपाउंड इज गिवन टू अस, वी आर गिवन ए सब्सटेंस, सब्सटेंस may be impure, it may be impure. From impure substance, first we require pure substance. We require pure substance. Substance can have mixture of 2 or more components, or it can have impurities of other substances. So that from the substance which is impure, we require first pure substance. That will make chapter first part. It is called purification of organic compounds. We can take purification and separation of pure compound. Once we know we get the pure compound, in the pure compound we require to know the different elements, detection of elements done here, detection of elements, in the organic compound. That make our second step we will take as qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis. Step 2 will make a qualitative analysis. Then after detection of elements, we can take third step, that is taken determination of percentage composition. Percentage composition of elements. That make third step, that is called as quantitative estimation. Estimation, or you can take here analysis. So in the given chapter right now we will discuss up to here only. Other part taken in topic practical organic chemistry, they will have 2 steps more. One taken after percentage composition of elements, and then we can get here compounds. We require the compound structural formula. The compound of what structure that is required. But right now we will not focus on this part because this all is coming ahead. We did test of alcohol, test of aldehyde, ketones, acids, amines, test of different functional groups. वो हम पढ़ेंगे आगे. यहाँ पे कहता है after this percentage composition of elements, what we can get here? This can give us the compounds. They can give the compound empirical formula. And after calculation of compound, molecular weight using qualitative properties or using basic mole concepts or moles, we can get the molar weight. And once we know for the compound empirical formula and molecular weight, we can get the compound molecular formula. And then testing of different functional groups. We did test of different functional group identification. So from the knowledge of compound, molecular formula, empirical formula, and then testing of functional group, we can get the compounds ultimately structural formula. If we add this step further, then this way the entire chapter is named as then practical organic chemistry. So anyway, this practical organic chemistry separately will not be taught because it is covered here itself. Only this part, testing of different functional groups, we will discuss chapter wise. Okay, so that chapter wise we will discuss because ultimately only require chapter wise different functional group testing. तो हम उसको वहीं पे पढ़ेंगे आप साथ में. So let us take here in this chapter first part taken purification of organic compounds. Okay. Now when you take purification of organic compounds, step 1, it depends on the nature of, substance and impurities present in it. Like nature of the substance means we can take different properties which can be used here, like property of sublimation, whether the compound taken, substance taken is undergoing sublimation or not, or when the compound is volatile or not, volatile nature of substance. If it is volatile, then property of boiling points we can use. We can take then here extent of adsorption, especially this part is used in chromatography. And then you can take here solubility of compounds, or in substances in water or other solvents. So we can take different properties like solubility of a substance in the water or other solvents. So we can take different property that like either substance or the impurity, whether they can undergo sublimation or they can undergo distillation, that volatile nature or not volatile nature, or they have boiling point, how much lower or higher boiling point, or two liquids, which separation required, they will have how much difference in boiling points, extent of adsorption, depending on molecular weight and interaction forces. This property is specially used in adsorption chromatography. And then it is solubility of substances, solubility in water or other solvents, or solubility difference. So there are several properties which we can use here for the purification of organic compounds. Next, in this case, in purification methods, we will start first here. First method can be taken method of filtration. So in purification or separation, first can be taken filtration method. This method of filtration or filtration method can be used, or you can take it is based on difference of solubility, of substances in water. That will take a mixture of substances, mixture of two or more substances. In that substance, one substance can be soluble, other is insoluble. Then separation method can be done by using filtration method. Suppose we take mixture containing urea plus naphthalene. How separation of these two substances can be done? Simple. We dissolve this mixture in water. What happen? And filter. Dissolve in water and filter. What is urea structure wise? You know structure of urea. NH2, CO, NH2. So urea have NH2 group of CO group. So in water urea will be soluble. Urea is soluble in water, while naphthalene, it have no polar bond to be soluble in water. It's insoluble in water. So during filtration, what happens? The filtrate will have aqueous solution urea plus water, where the residue, the substance insoluble will be residue, remain on filter paper, comes on filter paper. That's separation done here. And then the filtrate on evaporation, on boiling, evaporation of liquid or what solvent, on boiling can give the urea. Means if I take here during filtration, the substance insoluble will come on residue, and the filtrate will contain aqueous solution of urea. Filtrate contain aqueous solution of urea. The filtrate we take out, then boiling filtrate, water volatile liquid evaporate out, urea non-volatile is left behind. So separation can be done of two substances using this filtration method, where one substance is soluble, other insoluble. Soluble substance will go in filtrate, insoluble substance come on the filter paper, and from filtrate the liquid can evaporate out, and residue will come on the filter paper. Filtrate on evaporation of filtrate liquid, the other substance will come on the left behind substance. Mass remaining is urea, or can take other substance. That's one example taken in filtration. Filtration method we are using in some other case, like other example can be taken like separation of benzoic acid from naphthalene mixture, anthracene. Mixture given is anthracene plus benzoic acid. What is anthracene? You can take benzene type rings fused together is anthracene. It is remaining insoluble. What is benzoic acid? It has COOH group in the benzene ring. So their separation can be done again by filtration method. How? We dissolve this mass in hot water. Dissolve in hot water. What happens? Anthracene remains still insoluble, whereas this compound benzoic acid is soluble in hot water and filter. So what happens? The residue, means you can write here diagram, it's already same type. Residue will have in this case of anthracene being insoluble in hot water, and the filtrate will contain benzoic acid plus water. Filter done in hot conditions, and then on cooling, this compound is insoluble in cold water. So just on cooling, the crystals of benzoic acid separate out from the water, from solution of water. The crystals will separate out of benzoic acid from water. That is example taken filtration. One more example. So in this case, filtration can be done in hot conditions, especially when a given substance is less soluble in cold conditions but more soluble in hot conditions. So in that case, you can use dissolving in hot conditions and then filtration done. So I hope it is clear. Now next example can be taken. Sometimes the rate of filtration is very less. In that kind of case, we can use filtration under reduced pressure using Buchner funnel. Sometimes the rate of filtration is very less. Like example, in several cases it is possible. It is suppose filter paper. Now what will happen? Some cases when the rate of filtration is very low. So in this case, suppose one drop of the liquid filter out. After 5 minutes, second drop filter out. So in such a case, it takes very long time for filtration method. So we are using modification. We are fitting here a vacuum pump. Such kind of arrangement where we use vacuum pump. What is done here? Inside the flask, it is airtight. Inside the flask, we are creating one vacuum. When the vacuum in the flask is created, the rate of filtration will be increased. So it is setup is called as Buchner funnel. Means in this case, this is means it is to carry out this filtration under reduced pressure. Filtration under reduced pressure. Filtration under reduced pressure will be done here. I hope you got the meaning. Is sometime when the rate of filtration is very low, like one drop of liquid filter, after 2 or 3 minutes, one drop more come out in filtration. So it can take very long time for filtration to be carried out completely. So we are using Buchner funnel where inside the flask pressure is reduced using vacuum pump. So when the pressure in the flask is reduced, the rate of filtration will be increased. So for increasing rate of filtration, we are using this Buckner funnel. Okay, that's approach taken called filtration method. Now next method can be taken, method of sublimation. Second approach taken, sublimation method. In sublimation method, it is used for substances which are volatile or which undergo sublimation. Sublimable and impurities is non-volatile. So suppose we have substance taken here, on active heating, the substance is pure volatile, there will be vapors. That vapor we can collect separately in separate receiver, and the impurities which are non-volatile will be left behind. So example of substance can be taken like camphor, naphthalene, anthracene, anthraquinone, etc. There are several compounds which can be purified by method of sublimation. Okay. Now next can be taken method of recrystallization. Now we take next method taken recrystallization. Now we know that crystals are the purest form of a substance having definite geometrical shapes. So in this method, what property we are using here? We are using method of crystallization. इसका meaning क्या होता है? It's the process in which the impure substance is converted to crystals is called crystallization process. Now what happens in this case? First you can take here what property we are using here. The property we are using is here difference in solubilities. The property or the we are using here for separation of substances is solubility difference. That is given one substance is more soluble in a given solvent and other is less soluble. That property we are using here. So what happens here? You can आप उसको ऊपर note कर लीजिए. It is based on difference in solubilities of the compound and impurities in suitable solvent. And then what happens? Write down again. Dissolve the substance in hot solvent. Dissolve the substance in hot solvent, and on cooling, the pure crystals separate out, while impurities are more soluble in the solvent, so they will go in the solution. So and impurities which are more soluble will go in solution. And in this case, example taken here, sugar mixed with common salt, separation can be done using solvent ethanol. In ethanol, sugar is soluble but not NaCl or common salt. So what happens during cooling? NaCl separate out and sugar will go in ethanol solvent. So that can be done here. What method of recrystallization? आपका ऑलरेडी सॉलिड दिया होता है, उसको हम डिजॉल्व करते हैं हॉट सॉल्यूशन में, सॉल्वेंट के अंदर प्योर सम सॉल्वेंट के अंदर जो सुटेबल होगा, एंड देन ऑन हॉट सॉल्वेंट द मिक्सचर कैन डिजॉल्व. ऑन कूलिंग द प्योर सब्सटेंस वन ऑफ द सब्सटेंस फ्रॉम क्रिस्टल्स and separate out from solution, and other substance which is more soluble will go in filtrate or solution, not filtrate in solution. तो solution को बाहर निकाल देंगे, जो solid बचेगा, crystals बचेंगे, उसको हम अलग कर लेते हैं. ठीक है, उसे बोलते हैं recrystallization method. Clear हुआ? आपका next आएगा method of distillation. So next can be taken distillation methods. We will take here 4 methods, 4 types in distillation. First can be taken simple distillation. First taken simple distillation. Second taken is fractional distillation. fractional distillation, third is taken vacuum distillation, and fourth one taken is called as steam distillation. तो डिस्टिलेशन का सिंपल मीनिंग क्या होता है? बॉइलिंग, कि आपका लिक्विड दिया हुआ है इसको बॉईल करते हैं. तो ऑल द केसेस फॉर डिस्टिलेशन वी आर यूजिंग फॉर सेपरेशन ऑफ और प्यूरिफिकेशन ऑफ, separation and purification of liquids, of volatile liquids. Method of distillation can be used for four types. It is four types, but for separation of volatile liquids. So we can have different kind of combinations in which we can use different methods of distillation. Let us take first one taken here, simple distillation. ठीक है? एक्चुअली आपको हर एक में ध्यान रखना है कि किस मेथड को यूज करना है. कुछ नहीं पूछता है कि फॉर सेपरेशन ऑफ दिस मिक्सचर वी कैन यूज विच टेक्निक, विच मेथड. तो इट ऑल डिपेंड ऑन द नेचर ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस. इसमें सारे कंपाउंड क्या होना चाहिए? लिक्विड्स, वॉलेटाइल लिक्विड्स, इन विच दे कैन हैव डिफरेंट बॉइलिंग पॉइंट्स, more or less that property will help us. So let us first take a method of simple distillation. Simple distillation method is used. This method is used in two cases. Yeah, used when first part can be taken. This method, simple distillation, is used when pure substance. We can take here in a mixture of substances. One component is volatile and other component non-volatile. One component is volatile and other substance is non-volatile. Means in the mixture we have two liquids. One liquid is volatile, other substance is non-volatile, may not be liquid. Or the two liquids to be separated, have high difference in boiling points. Like we can take here example wise, क्लोरोफॉर्म. मीन्स इसमें तो पहला तो सिंपल है कि एक लिक्विड आपका वॉलेटाइल है, एक सब्सटेंस क्या होगा? नॉन वॉलेटाइल. तो अगर आपका पहला केस दिया तो क्या होता है कि आपका सपोज दिया है ए एंड बी. सपोज ए इज वॉलेटाइल, बी इज नॉन वॉलेटाइल. तब तो सिंपल केस हो गया एकदम कि ऑन बॉइलिंग ओनली ए कैन इवापोरेट बट एंड देन बी विल बी लेफ्ट बिहाइंड. सेपरेशन इज अचीव्ड इन सिंगल स्टेप. बट इन सेकंड केस when two liquid have high difference in boiling points, example can be taken for this case like separation of chloroform which have lower boiling point. Chloroform have boiling point 61 degrees Celsius from aniline which have boiling point 184 degrees Celsius. Separation can be done of this compound. We can take separation of benzene which have boiling point 80 degrees Celsius from aniline, same compound here mixture. So this separation can be done in such case easily by method of simple distillation. इसमें होता क्या है कि आपके पास मिक्सचर दिया हुआ दो कंपाउंड का, दो लिक्विड्स का मिक्सचर दिया है, इसको हम बॉईल करते हैं. तो बॉईल करने पर क्या होता है? जिसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम है वो क्या होगा? इवापोरेट मोर. जिसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम है क्या होगा? उसका इवापोरेशन ज्यादा होगा, will go more to vapor phase. और जिसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट ज्यादा है, हाई बॉइलिंग पॉइंट वाला क्या होगा? left more in the liquid phase. Or small amount of liquid having high boiling point can also go in vapor phase. So you can repeat 2 or 3 steps where separation can be achieved completely. इसका explanation पूरा दिया गया है आपको in the topic liquid solution chapter heading vapor pressure separation. उसमें कर्व दिए होते हैं, ग्राफ दिए हैं. They will explain this point better way कि कैसे सेपरेशन होता है. इसमें सिंपल है, पहले जिस लिक्विड का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम है दैट इवापोरेट मोर. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि अगला का इवापोरेशन बिल्कुल नहीं होगा, कुछ अमाउंट इसका भी इवापोरेट होगा. तो मिक्सचर में क्या होता है? इसका ज्यादा अमाउंट होगा, इसका अमाउंट कम होगा. when more of liquid will go to vapor phase, so liquid remaining become richer in this compound having high boiling point. तो वेपर को कंडेंस करते हैं, फिर इवापोरेट करेंगे, फिर कंडेंस करेंगे, तो 3-4 steps almost pure liquid which have low boiling point separate in the vapor phase and liquid having high boiling point remain in the liquid phase. So separation can be achieved of two component by method of simple distillation. I hope it is clear. Simple distillation, आप ध्यान रखें दो चीजों का, एक पॉइंट क्या है, एक वोलेटाइल कंपोनेंट है और एक कंपाउंड नॉन वोलेटाइल है. सेकंड केस क्या है, दो लिक्विड्स हैं जिसका डिफरेंस बहुत ज्यादा है बॉइलिंग पॉइंट्स में, तो उस केस में हम इस प्रॉपर्टी को यूज, इस मेथड को यूज कर सकते हैं. अब बॉइलिंग पॉइंट आपको क्वेश्चन में दे भी सकते हैं और नहीं भी दे सकते हैं, तो आपको सोचना पड़ेगा यूजिंग केमिकल बॉन्डिंग कंसेप्ट्स कि किसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट ज्यादा होना चाहिए, किसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम होना चाहिए, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप मेथड को यूज कर सकते हैं. यहाँ पर समझ में आया? Now let us take next example taken fractional distillation. Now let us take here second part taken fractional distillation. Fractional distillation. When we use method of fractional distillation, this fractional distillation is used. This method is used when two liquids to be separated have small difference up to 10 Kelvin. You can take here Kelvin or Celsius, anyone scale से मिलेगा, up to 10 Kelvin or even slightly less, small difference in boiling points. Example can be taken like here, separation of acetone, boiling point taken as 329 Kelvin, from methanol which have lower, slightly higher boiling point because of hydrogen bonding. It has boiling point 338 Kelvin. So separation of acetone from methanol can be achieved using method of fractional distillation. Separation of different fractions from petroleum, from crude oil, separation of different component like petroleum, diesel, coal tar, etc. We can do separation by this fractional distillation. Now how this is done, how we can do the fractional distillation? क्वेश्चन आपको ये पूछता है एग्जाम के अंदर कॉमनली कि आपको दो मिक्सचर दे देंगे कंपोनेंट्स का, पूछते हैं which method is suitable. तो when the liquids are taken have small difference in boiling point, then we are using method of fractional distillation. कैसे करते हैं, इसको अचीव कैसे करते हैं? We can take, I'm drawing on simplified diagram. We are taking a fractionating column. It is taken fractionating column. You can connect for separating side. Now they will have a large number of surfaces. For heat exchange. It is taken, let us take mixture taken two component A and B. Suppose if I take this example, I will take acetone as A and methanol as B. Acetone taken as A, which have lower boiling point. Acetone have high boiling point, is taken B. So we are boiling this mixture. On boiling, this is called as, setup is called as fractionating column. It is called as fractionating column. In fractionating column, they are having a large number of surfaces. They are the surfaces for heat exchange. Surfaces for heat exchange. So what happened here during boiling? The vapor rising up. Now suppose in the beginning, if you just take example wise, suppose the mole fraction of A is equal to mole fraction of B. Let us take equal 0.5 each. Is suppose separation to be done of two component A and B. which have equal amount, equal moles. So what happen here? Let us say during evaporation, when the vapor rise up, now in this case the difference is very low in the boiling point. The amount of two component going to vapor phase will be very similar, not much different. इसमें क्या B is having high boiling point, that means B is less volatile. If it is ना, B is having what compared to A, B is having slightly higher boiling point, so that means B is less volatile than A. A is having lower boiling point, means A is more volatile, evaporate more. So if I take the vapor are reaching the starting lower portion of the fractionating column, then the mole fraction of A, and let's just write in mole fraction of A, slightly can be more in the vapor phase. If I write mole fraction of A can be taken X3 dash, maybe 0.5355, slightly more. Then remaining is mole fraction of B in vapor phase. सिंपल कंसेप्ट है, जिसका भी बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम होगा उसका इवापोरेशन ज्यादा होगा, तो इसलिए वेपर फेस में उसका अमाउंट कुछ ज्यादा होगा ही. इसका कैलकुलेशन हम कर सकते हैं अगर पी नॉट पता होता है यूजिंग दैट राउल्ट्स लॉ, उसके जो इक्वेशन आता है इसमें उसको यूज करके. ठीक है. सो इन दिस केस when it is taken x3 dash is 0.55. now what happens, the vaporizing of the collide, the vaporizing will collide with the surface for heat exchange, and some vapor which condense they fall below on the surfaces here. It is liquid droplets. The liquid droplets. So what happen, of the two component, the component having high boiling point will condense more, because higher boiling point also indicate strong attractive forces in the molecules. So when the vapor are rising up the column in the vapor mixture, when they collide with the surfaces for heat exchange, by heat exchange the vapor lose heat and some vapor will condense to liquid phase. Listen carefully, some vapor condense to liquid phase, and in the two liquids the component having high boiling point indicating more attraction forces will condense more, and that liquid will have more amount of component having higher boiling point. That can be taken here B, in this case methanol. B आपने क्या लिया है, methanol को लिया है, CH3OH. तो B का क्या है, boiling point ज्यादा होगा, attraction ज्यादा होने की वजह से, तो B will condense more. And now when the vapor rising up, they supply heat. आपका suppose यहाँ पे ये surface है, we have some liquid droplets. तो vapor rising up, they supply heat continuously. So vapor, a liquid again evaporate. When this liquid evaporate, in the liquid the component having low boiling point evaporate more. Component having low boiling point evaporate more. When the low boiling point is undergoing more evaporation, so what happened, the upper portion of the tube, this fractionating column, the mole fraction of component having low boiling point keep on increasing. Suppose in somewhere here mole fraction of A can be taken maybe 0.7 x3 dash. By the time they reaching top in the column, mole fraction of A further increases. Maybe say I am writing here, let us say 0.9 or almost 0.999 or almost 1. Meaning what? By the time we vapor reach the top, then they will be consisting of mainly pure component which is having lower boiling point. Otherwise, if you are doing simple distillation, तब क्या होता है इसमें? We take vapors, evaporate, condense, again evaporate, again condense. So what happen in this case? It can take large number of steps, wasting of lot of energy on condensing, evaporation, condensing, evaporation. So we are using fractionating column. In fractionating column, by variation of temperature, at different temperature, different component can be separating out from the mixture. So I hope it is clear. Liquid having high boiling point condense more. Liquid having low boiling point evaporate more. When the vapor condense to liquid state, in the liquid whichever amount formed of the liquid having low boiling point keep on evaporating more and more. So the vapor rising up in the column, they will be richer in the component having lower boiling point, and the left behind part will be having component having higher boiling point. That is how the separation can be achieved of two component by fractional distillation. Okay. Now next can be taken vacuum distillation.